Alright, you beautiful people, Kenshi here, bringing you episode 2 of the Rise of the Holy Nation Iron Man playthrough. To start this episode off, we have Peter the Hermit heading up to the hub with a bunch of supplies that we managed to raid from the Guild of Surgeons, and they had a bunch of heretical tech in there, so we've had to go up to the hub to sell it off and hopefully be able to buy some more recruits because we're looking to expand our party right now. We also have Ariana on the lookout for some more recruits as well. So Peter the Hermit is on a recruiting run and so is Ariana. We have found Caroline right here who looks like she is willing to join us, and her fee is going to be 3,000 cats, which is going to be okay. She's a Greenlander human, which means that she's just about the most base vanilla character in the game, but going to be useful for us in as we are in the Holy Nation and they do not like anyone that isn't a Greenlander. Well, mainly Greenlander male, so being a female you can run into some issues within the Holy Nation. But hopefully Peter the Hermit will be back soon, so we shouldn't have any issues with that. We're going to send Caroline off to try and loot some more kit from the Guild of Surgeons, as their stuff isn't amazing, but it's definitely better than what we've got. They have Naganatas, standard grade mercenary plate, samurai cloth pants standard, and leather standard shirts, which are pretty decent for where we are in the game. And they also have wizard wackies as well. So more of this stuff that we can loot, we can either give it to people or sell it off for a nice amount of money. They do have robotics kits, so what we're going to do is we're going to just keep them on one character because the guards don't like robotics kits or robotic limbs. They call them items of tainting. So we're going to try to keep them away from the guards, but if they're not on us but they're on a body that we're carrying, we shouldn't get in trouble with them if we get searched. The vendors will still buy them, which is good, so we can sell them off to them. We can still make a decent amount of money because skeleton repair kits sell for quite a bit. We have got very lucky with this Guild of Surgeons coming through because this is far better kit than we should have at this part of the game, and us selling off is going to get us a bunch more money. So we're going to have a better kit than we should have, and we're also going to have more people early on than what we normally would have as well. So we are going to be able to pretty much skip the early game and go straight into the middle game. I reckon probably in about 2 episodes we should be in a very good situation. Then another couple episodes of training, and then within about 6 episodes I reckon we'll be able to move out and start attacking people, which will be really good. It's going to definitely help us out quite a lot. What we're going to do is we're just going to get Caroline to pick up one of the corpses. It's the corpse of all the gear in it, so this is going to give her extra strength and extra storage space, and if we do get stopped by the guards we won't get in trouble for having any contraband on us because it's on someone else instead of our character. Just a little workaround for those of you that didn't know about that. We've also got Ariana outside. What we're going to do is we saw another Guild of Surgeon go down. Well, one of their members go down. So we're going to send Ariana over, see if there's anything worth looting off him. And he does have a pretty fresh repair kit and some armor and gear. So we are going to take most of that because that is some decent enough kit. It's going to sell for a fair bit. And we got a very nice Naginata as well, which is pretty decent. I'm happy with that. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop the swamp raptor or just the raptor and then pick that corpse up as well. So now we've got extra storage, we can move around, we're going to get extra strength training, and we're going to be able to sell this kit off and make a fair old chunk of money. Going to send Caroline to the bottom bar, and then we got Ariana who is going to be going to the top bar. It's just so Caroline can get a bit more strength training just through walking around. It won't make a massive difference, but if I do this continuously it is going to start to add up. We're just going to shift most of the kit that we don't need. We are going to sell a couple sets of the armor Naganatas off as well. We won't need them. Well, we don't need them because we got better ones. So we're going to try to streamline our kit a little bit. So we're just going to get rid of most of it, which means that we can loot more things as more things come available for us. What I have done is sold off the robotics repair kits. So it turns out, even though they're heretical items, the Holy Nation vendors will still buy them. We're going to recruit Mabel, who is another Greenlander. It does seem that it's mainly Greenlander females in the Holy Nation that you can recruit. So it looks like Peter the Hermit is going to be running around with a harem with him. We will get Mabel geared up the best that we can. We don't have fantastic kit at the moment, but it's still better than what we should have at this point in the game. Those sandals actually seem pretty decent, so I think we might use them a bit more. So the extra attack speed and movement speed is always a nice thing to have. We got Peter the Hermit heading up to the hub now. So where this is still episode 2, I don't need to attack all of the enemies of the Holy Nation on site. So I think one of the first places we will destroy will be the hub, since as it is the Holy Nation Outlaws home base. You've got the Shinobi Thieves that hang around with Narkos, and there's a bunch of Shek and other nasties in this area which we will want to wipe out. But until then, I am going to make the most of the vendor. So this is the loot we got last episode, and we have got some rather tasty things to sell. It's a shame that we can't use prosthetics ourselves, because they would be quite a nice addition to our guys. But Holy Nation doesn't like robotics, so we are going to run with that. We got some, obviously, kit to sell off. We got some armors, some mashed up medikits, and some other miscellaneous things. I'm not using a martial artist at the moment, so I will sell the martial art kit, which is a very decent bit of kit if you're using a martial artist. But like I said, we're not, so it won't be beneficial to us. They don't really seem to have anything that we want. We might get the combat cleaver, because that is, yet again, another decent bit of kit. Or we might get this funky axe spear, which does look quite nice. But we have got some decent kit at the moment, so we might not want to spend all of our money on more weapons, because we've already got some, and also my guys can't fight, so buying good weapons isn't really that beneficial to us just yet. But I do think we will go with that combat cleaver. It's going to be helpful. We do have a decent amount of financing now, so I reckon we go around the hub and see who we can get to join us. There are a few Narcos here who obviously we do not want. We have a plastic surgeon, but not too interested in that. Some war maiden with a bounty on her head who we might come back and kill just for the bants. And then we got a gentleman over here that looks like he will join us, so we'll get him to join. He's not too expensive and we have the money, so I'm going to change his name over to GNU, because I got asked by one of the subs for a named character. So we'll do that. We'll make him a little bit taller, make him a bit more intimidating. I think that will do. So we now have GNU in the squad, and we have what looks like a juggernaut on this table, which would be a fantastic addition to the team. So juggernauts have more HP than a standard Greenlander. The Holy Nation doesn't mind them, they just treat them like Greenlanders, and they have some pretty good perks for when it comes to fighting as such. So they're really good fighters, not too great at anything else. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change this character over to GNU, because GNU did ask for a Praetorian in the last series and I couldn't do it, so we'll change that. And then we'll move this guy across to John. Yeah, John. John works. John's a good standard Greenlander name, I reckon. So we've got everyone that we can recruit here together. So what we'll do is we will go and head back to Bad Teeth, and then we'll just carry on looting and grinding and trying to get our stats up, which would be pretty ideal, I think. We'll get them all sent back down to Bad Teeth so we can all group up back together. Means that we should be able to start picking fights with things now, because there is, 6 of us. So if we find some hungry bandits, we should be able to fight them. If we find some raptors in that, if it's a small group, we should be able to fight them. So we're going to be able to get our stats up. We're going to be able to become better fighters. Strength's going to go up, athletics, all of the stuff that we need just to survive in Kenshi. But it does seem that starting in the Holy Nation is probably one of the safer places to start in Kenshi, so long as you start as a Greenlander. There's loads of guards about, lots of patrols as well, so if you run in difficulty you can always get back to like a patrol or to the town or to the guards. So in that sense it's a pretty safe area, safer than the border zone. Also the pathing's better, so if you tell a character to go somewhere they don't randomly get stuck and then beaten to death by some bandits. So just from actually like navigation it's a lot easier. Also outside all of the towns there's at least one like iron or copper resource, so you can always go and mine that for money if you're running short, which is good. There's river raptors continuously running around, and river raptors drop meat and leather which can always be picked up and sold. And if you want to be lazy with it, all you need to do is get a shack or something and then put in a meat storage and then put your guy to auto collect, and they're going to go off and they're going to strip all the meat off the river raptors as they come through, or you could do it with the leather as well. So I think the Holy Nation is actually probably one of the better places to start if you want to play as a human. So I'm happy with that. But what we do have now is we got some mercenary guild fighting the Holy Nation. So this is just going to be a free chance for us to get some loot off them. They won't mind too much because they're fighting the Holy Nation, so they're not going to have a chance to fight us, and the Holy Nation won't mind us looting them because they're enemies of them. So we should be able to pick up some. It won't be great kit, but it's going to be decent enough, and so we're going to be in a very good situation. I don't think I've ever been on day 3 with 6 guys and 34,000 cats in the bank account, starting from a lone wanderer. So this is turning out to be quite a lucrative place to start. I mean, most of it is coming down to the Holy Nation just being racist and attacking people, and then people wandering through that the Holy Nation deem as evil even though they should be allied, and the Holy Nation attacking them, so we're able to loot them. But it was not going to be long until Shek and that start showing up, and when they show up we can start looting them. We do have the hard gen mod on, so it does mean that the people that we will be fighting will have better kit, so you do get more resources from that because obviously they got better kit, so you can sell it for more. But we'll just try to watch these mercenary guild get knocked down, and as they do we will go around and start looting them the best that we can. We're going to need to be quite quick with it because the Holy Nation seems pretty rapid on picking them up when they fall down. The other side being, we don't want to get too close and get hit by a stray attack, and then the other side is we have been looting them, so they might become hostile, and if the Holy Nation aren't around we will take a couple hits, which is not what we want. But kit wise, a saber, 2 standard medikits and some coins, not bad going. I'm quite happy with that. That is fairly useful for us, and there's a few more of them around, so long as we can get to them before the Holy Nation picks them up we are on for a winner. So we are getting some not exceptional kit, but definitely decent enough, as I keep saying, so I'm quite happy with that. We're going to be able to sell it off, or if we like it we can keep it and give it to our guys. But I think for now it's going to be about selling it off, because what I want to do is I want to try and get not a base as such, but I want to buy a house, and in that house I want to get some production going. With that production we won't be able to build much, but if we can start practicing now on making armors and weapons, that means for when we get to building our own base we should have some decent kit and some decent weapons. Also we're going to be able to train the guys' stats up. The better their stats are, the less people we will need to start the colony off. So we are going to be in a very good situation very quickly. We've also got GNU, he's nearly back at Bad Teeth. John's on his way as well. My other guys are so slow at Suntree, but it's really good because it means they're training their strength. So they'll be slow for now, but soon they're going to be super quick. Normally I train dexterity first, but in this playthrough I am going more for training strength, and I just want to see how that plays out. I want to see how the characters scale, because dexterity is the hardest trait to train, so if you get your strength up really high it's harder to train your dexterity. But I have a plan and I want to see if it plays out. My plans normally don't work, and that's why I keep my plans simple so they can't go wrong. But this time I'm wondering about the scaling. I think we'll try strength first because I want to see how it plays out in the long run. We still need to sell all of the kit that we looted from those mercenaries, so we're just going to speed through that. They don't have anything super good or anything that we really need. We'll just regroup everyone into the center of the town, and it looks like hidden away we have a mercenary. So we're going to loot his stuff. Yet again, nothing great, but should be somewhat useful. We're going to send GNU in because GNU wants to have an axe. There isn't too much in the way of axes, but we do have this, which is a cross polearm, which is about as close as we are going to get to an axe in the Holy Nation at the moment. It's about the same as his Desert Saber in stats. Well, it's a little bit less, but polearms are pretty good because of their reach. So on their cleave, they can get a lot of attacks off. Also, that Desert Saber is going to be good to give to someone else. So across the board, it is not a bad trade right there. So I'm quite happy with that. Nothing too much here we want. We might go for a couple schematics. So we're going to get the Combat Cleaver, Holy Cross, and Huge Cleaver. So these are going to be weapons that we're now going to be able to produce once we get our little base up and running. So we are looking like we are in a very, very good situation to be moving forward with. We're going to go and head across back to the armory. I just want to see if there's anything that we can put GNU in. I'm not expecting miracles in the form of armor because, well, it's Holy Nation armor and it's pretty poor most of the time. But then again, we might be able to pick up a couple schematics, which should be able to help us out a fair bit. We will pick up the schematic for the samurai cloth pant and the nomadic cape. These are obviously made of cloth, so we should be able to produce them pretty early on. But with that, I will need to bring this episode to an end. So thank you for watching episode 2 of Kenshi, Rise of the Holy Nation. I've been Konzi. All your likes, comments, subs and support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.